I like that we can hear the intro music right now, guys. It's been a lot better than like the old setup from like 3 or 4 months ago. Our new setup's a lot better on our end, at least. What's up, everybody? I am Britt Devine, here with my man Keith and Andre. Andre, I'll start first off. Andre, what chips are those?
Just regular Lay's chips.
Oh, man.
I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving, so.
Oh, I'm hungry all the time, but you got to kick it up from just regular Lay's, right, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, get you Doritos or Cheetos or something with a little flavor in there.
It's the first thing I can find.
Sometimes it is just that. It's whatever's in the cupboard, my man. I understand that. What's going on, everybody? We are here. We got a fun baseball slate tonight. I see there are a lot of you in the YouTubes already. I know we have no spider bombs or anything like that, but we would appreciate if you click the like button either now or on your way out later. It helps other people find this great content on RotoGrinders for free from Fanduel. And a big note is our Fanduel single entry series has started. This is a really fun thing RotoGrinders teams up with Fanduel to do. You're on a level playing field with everyone. It's all RotoGrinders is involved with all of it. There's $50,000 in bonus cash up for grabs. You got 6 weeks to showcase your DFS chops. No MME BS, right? So you're not playing against 150 lineups. 2 doubleheader weeks, so you got 8 chances to win. Your top 4 scores each week count towards it. Being able to get all the contest payouts and all of that, and then there's a single entries championship in Chicago on September 9th for a $10,000 grand prize. So go check it out. It's on RotoGrinders. You'll be able to find some links to it. An amazing contest we put on every year, and love the single entry stuff, especially for football coming up. This isn't for football. But I am juiced for that as well. What I want to do is talk some baseball because that is what we are here for. And I'm going to start with some cash games with my man Keith. And we'll start on FanDuel because there's a couple interesting ways you can go to it. If you want all the bats, you can get a little frisky. If you want to play it safe, I think to me it's easily Framber Valdez, who's basically had one bad game all season. From the cash perspective, Keith, I think I'm playing Valdez. I'm not going to go down in order to get all the bats. I can get most of the bats if I play Valdez. That's where I stand, at least on FanDuel. How about you?
Yeah, I am with you there. I think that's the safest route for cash. Just Valdez is a guy that doesn't get blown up very much anyway, has an excellent ground ball rate, doesn't give up home runs, pitches really deep into the game. So I think it's worth paying up for him and just kind of most likely locking in a quality start, pretty good chance for a win. There are options if you don't want to do that and you prefer to pay up for the bats, but Valdez would be the way I'm leaning. I think Ian Anderson is an interesting conversation. Ranger Suarez is in a fantastic spot against Pittsburgh here. They've just been atrocious against left-handed pitching. And Drew Smiley's price tag makes him playable as well if you want to go all the way down there. So there are some cheaper options if you want to jam in all the Dodgers. But for me in cash games, I think Valdez and the safety he provides is the way to go.
Yeah, speaking of Ranger Suarez, I just before the show, it was one of the bets I forgot to do. I laddered up his Ks on the FanDuel Sportsbook up to 8. It was like plus 600, and any lefty going up against Pittsburgh can hit 8 strikeouts basically right now. So that is one of my favorite bets of the night. And his over 4.5 was like minus 118 or 12. It seems ridiculous. So go hit that one. In my opinion, one of the best bets of the night. Real quick, DraftKings. So if we're playing Valdez for cash, I think you're definitely playing him at 9,700. Who is the SP2? Because you can play it's Suarez or Ian Anderson for me. I'm going with one of the high end and then taking a shot. Is that how you're playing it, Keith, too?
It is, and I just don't trust Ian Anderson at this point. It looked like he was kind of turning his season around. He was very chalky his last time out against the Angels, who rolled out a lineup against him that had like a 30% strikeout rate, and he just got absolutely blown up. So I just can't trust Ian Anderson at this point. Ranger Suarez and his matchup, I think, is perfectly safe. I'm finding the money to get to Suarez over Anderson.
All right. So those are the guys we're looking at in cash. Andre, what are your thoughts on maybe a couple of the guys we talked about? And then if you got any, the board doesn't look too great today, but you can get a little strange if you want to. What else are you looking at today?
Yeah, Suarez is just my main option. I'm going to be trying to get to a lot in tournaments. But all these other options, but options that I really don't mind. I don't mind a little bit of Cueto against Oakland. I know it's kind of not. I know Cueto could still get blown up there, but as someone I think we have to take a chance to take a risk on today. So I don't mind him. Musgrove also is another option against Minnesota that I don't mind taking some shots on today, or Sonny Gray. Besides obviously Ian Anderson as well, but like Keith said, like trusting Anderson is kind of hard. Like I played him so much last time in that great spot against the Angels and just get absolutely shelled. Like it was kind of embarrassing for him, in my opinion. But I literally think that like that's the guy I'm honestly afraid of not being like under-owned today, because he could absolutely can have a good game. But
both of you were pretty smart, and you both seem to be off of him.
yeah,
I still like Ian Anderson. I'll give a pass for like 1 star or even 2 bad starts from a pitcher. If you guys are off him, maybe a lot of the industry is going to be off him today. So I think I might take the other side from you guys in the tournament perspective. From the cash, I do think Suarez is probably the guy. He is the guy I'm going to go with as my SP2.
Yeah,
I like
6% on FanDuel projected. So I love that.
From a tournament, if everyone just against the Angels, he burned us. I think I'm willing to give him one pass, and this is it, at least from the tournament perspective. Anyone like Musgrove? We've got or Cardi. I guess I have Cardi's ownership projections up. Where do you think Musgrove is going to fall against Minnesota today? Is anyone like he seems like the high end swerve away from Valdez, but he's had a couple of bad starts against the Mets and at Colorado. You can't really hold that against him. He's been pretty good other than that the entire season. Is anyone looking to use him in a tournament off of Valdez?
I'm looking to use him a little bit in tournaments, but it's still kind of tough because this Minnesota is not like an easy team to go against either. So I'll get to some of them for sure. I'll probably be at the field, maybe a little bit overweight on him, but it's still tough to me. I'd rather just ride with Suarez in that better matchup, in my opinion. Even though like I'm looking right now how one played IQ. We have Minnesota has a 23% strikeout rate. Yeah, but all these guys, Arraez, Carrera, Buxton, Polanco, they all can put the ball in the play. At least the top 4 can definitely for sure easily. So it's still tough to get to, and I know he can give up some home runs at sometimes too. So and does allow a little bit of hard contact. So it's just tough to get to. As far as being overweight on him, but being at the field is something I don't mind being. I'd rather, like I said, be overweight on a guy like Ranger Suarez, who I'm seeing, like I said, on these on the projections we have, showing him at like 6-7%. So I'll just ride with that if that's how it's going to be, and just be like 3 or 4 times the field on that against Pittsburgh.
I want to know. I saw someone asking about the weather in Atlanta. So Roth has updated it. It's yellow. He doesn't really. He says so. He thinks the most likely outcome is a dry 9. Is it safe? No. A stray storm could still cause problems, but he's betting the recent rain in the area will keep more storms from forming over the ballpark. I'm okay with this game from a pitching perspective. If you want to play Anderson or any of the bats, I'm not really too concerned about the rain. And then I believe I saw he's got a little thing here. He had a fellow meteorologist, the boots on the ground, who also sort of agreed with him that he doesn't think there's going to be any problem. So as far as I'm concerned, there are no real weather issues on this slate. I just wanted to point that out. All right, let's go to some offense across the board. Andre, from the tournament perspective, where are we looking at for offense? What do you think is going to be popular? Do you have a team that's maybe a little under the radar you like today?
We already know it's going to be popular, Britt. Everyone's going to be playing the Dodgers today. Like, you can't help it. Freeland is too easy of a matchup. So I'm not going to lie. It's hard to get away from them. I feel like you should just be on the Dodgers, just play them. But get different with playing them. That's the way I look at it in tournaments. Like I'm seeing guys like we got Cody Bellinger coming in at like 5% ownership. Austin Barnes coming in at like 2% ownership. So trying to mix those guys in, and even Freddie Freeman at 10%, which is low. and Alberto. These guys are going to be low-owned guys in that Dodger line, probably because they're more in the back half of it. And Freeman, I think, just because he's at first base only, and you can only pick one first base person on FanDuel at least, so it puts you in a tough position. But I would just put the back half of this lineup and just try to mix and match them. But one of my favorite teams to get to today in tournaments is going to be Houston. They are going against Flexen. They are coming in probably a little bit under-owned than what I expect them to be. So I'm going to be all over Houston today. I love St. Louis as well. But Houston is like my very sneaky, like under the radar team that I want to be well over the field on compared to everybody else.
All right, Keith, I know we're doing cash, but I'm going to ask you from tournaments. Some of these Dodgers are approaching 25, 30% tournament ownership on there's 18 teams playing tonight. And I know if Chief was here, he would have no part of that Coors game, specifically the Dodgers tonight. How would you handle something like that? They're in great spots. There's all of that, but their ownership, it looks a little high for 18 teams playing baseball tonight.
Yeah, it is a little high. I think I would probably come in slightly under the field. A couple other teams. I'd love Andre's Houston call. The problem is there's not a lot of other huge team totals out. So I'm roughly right even with the field. If there were some other 5.5 totals out there, I would have a heavier underweight stance. But they are pretty clearly the top offense. So I like Houston to potentially stick with them. St. Louis is in a great spot. But outside of that, there's just not a ton of high upside offense. St. Louis is the only other team total over 5. I'm sorry, Atlanta's is up around 6. Yep. So do like Atlanta a ton as well. But outside of that, like a bunch of 4.5 type of totals. So it's hard to get away from the Dodgers. The ownership isn't ideal, but I think the odds of them being the optimal stack are pretty high.
Yeah, if you're playing the Dodgers, don't stack them with Atlanta and, or St. Louis with, Ranger Suarez or Valdez, right? It's like that's just going to be the ultra chalk.
Yeah, that's what I would not play Dodgers with Valdez at all. Just find a way to get different at pitcher, unless you're doing like Andre was talking about playing the back half of the Dodgers who are much lower owned. You can play a stack like that with Valdez, but be very careful about playing the premium Dodgers with Valdez.
All right, let's go position by position real quick. Actually, no, we got to we'll sort of speed through this. Give me your catcher cash game. Basically, what you're looking at today, Keith.
It's very simple. If you have the money, you want to get Will Smith. If you don't, you can punt with Austin Barnes in Coors Field. Hitting 8th is fine when he's near minimum price. It's one of those two guys for cash.
Yep, basically, I would agree with that. Catcher, Andre, in tournaments, how do you get different? If we're playing the Dodger catchers, anyone else is pretty much in play for tournaments.
Yeah, anyone else like JT Realmuto, Sean Murphy, or even Austin Barnes. Who's the other catcher? Who's the other guy that's a catcher for the Dodgers? That's someone I don't mind taking a shout out today.
All right, first base. Let's go FanDuel first. So I guess, Keith, are we playing Will Smith on FanDuel because you can do catcher first base, and then on DraftKings it's really interesting because I think everybody's pretty much too expensive, and I wanted to get more of the right-handed Coors bats. I'm going dirt cheap at first base on DraftKings. I want to get your take on it.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page there. It is Will Smith for me on FanDuel. Don't care what position he plays. He's still a well above average hitter in a fantastic spot today. So Will Smith is the guy over on FanDuel. DraftKings, I agree. It's a pretty decent spot to save some money. Seth Brown hitting 4th in the middle of the lineup against Johnny Cueto, who has struggled with lefties his whole career, is the guy I'm looking to do it with. Mm-hmm. I don't have the 6K for Freeman, and he's lefty. That's not ideal. Ohtani is very expensive as well. Hoskins has a decent price in the mid range if you want to do that. But I prefer to save the money. I'm going to spend up in the outfield and shortstop.
Yeah, and I do know. Sorry, guys. Apologize for Keith's mic. We did try to fix it, but the problem has arose back mid-show. So apologies for that. You can fiddle with it, Keith. I'll let you know if it does anything. Andre at first base for tournaments. Right, you got Freddie Freeman. You got a couple. You got Will Smith. Again, it's just gonna be Dodgers all over the board. That's gonna be popular. How do you get different?
Yeah, definitely. But there's another guy that's in a really good matchup who I think might do better than anyone in court today, and that's Paul Goldschmidt. going against Espinal today. So he didn't come through for me and hit a home run yesterday, but I think he will come through today in that matchup. I think it's just too good to pass up on him, and he's going to be very low owned compared to the guys in cores. So Paul Goldschmidt is one of my options I would go with. Reese Hoskins as well, or Matt Olson, and obviously Seth Brown but he's going to be a little bit popular. So you can see him as a one-off. I'm going against Cueto.
All right, let's go to a second. And I love the Goldschmidt. He's not Aaron Judge in terms of hitting a home run every single game, but I do like him, his matchup tonight against Espino. Keith, second base. What are we doing there tonight?
All right. Let's see. So Nolan Gorman is a guy I'm looking at on both sides. Love this matchup for him against Espino. He's still really cheap. He's up to the fifth spot in the lineup. So I think he's the guy that makes the most sense. I do like this spot from Marcus Semien. If you can spend a little bit more money, or Jose Altuve is great as well.
Yeah, Gorman's got the rainbow on in terms of tags. It looks like everyone in the universe from RotoGrinders is on him tonight. So he does look like a good play, and I believe he is on my cash game on both sites as well. What are we doing here? You can mix in some. Is Muncy's third base, right? He's not second base on
Correct.
either side anymore, is he? Right, so we can't fit him in there.
He's second on Fanduel, second and third.
Yeah. So do you like him? Even lefty has had a really horrible season. What do you think about maybe using him tonight?
I like him tonight. I don't mind using him. I'm not going to use him compared as much to the field is. I'm at 21%, but I think he's still in a good position today. But I do like guys like Jose Altuve, who I think is in a good position against Flexen. Marcus Semien, Brendan Rodgers. Like if you want to go like a little bit of Colorado Texas and Coors take the opposite side of the field, you could do that. I think. And Nolan Gorman, obviously we all love him. He's just in a good position today. The whole St. Louis team is, so I don't mind him today as well.
All right, let's go to third base. And I want to remind you guys, if you want to get your questions in, get them in. We will take precedence to our premium subscribers in the Discord. So get those in, and then we'll go to the YouTube in just a few minutes. Third base, this is Muncy and Cash, lefty, horrible season. It's in cores against Freeland. He's cheap, and I know he's a good hitter, but is that what we're doing tonight, Keith?
I think it is. Austin Riley is great. Alex Bregman is fine if you just cannot stomach the fact of Muncy. But that price in this spot, like even lefty, I don't think Kyle Freeland's going to be out there for more than 4 or 5 innings. I think the Dodgers hit him around pretty good, and the Rockies bullpen is terrible. So you're looking at two at bats more than likely off of a terrible bullpen. That's the reason I'm okay with it. I don't love the matchup against Freeland because he is pretty good against lefties. But like I said, I don't think he'll be out there for very long. Muncy is the play. He's just too cheap.
Yeah, I think Muncy. Bregman's not even having that great of a season either. So I guess I'd take the guy in cores for just a little bit more. If we're all playing Muncy, what do you like in tournaments at the position today, Andre?
Riley, Arenado, Machado, Bregman, and Bohm. Those are the main guys I'm going to be going with today. I think they're all in great positions today to go yard. And if you want to get a little bit different, also go with Manny Machado. I said Machado already, but I think he's better off as a one-off. I'm not really high on San Diego as a stack as a whole, but as a one-off, I definitely don't mind him today for sure.
All right, shortstop for Cash. It's in. Trey Turner is a guy I really want to use, and I think he's one of the premier spends today, along with Mookie Betts. Can you get to him on both sites in Cash today, Keith, or did you have to sacrifice? I guess a little bit more so on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'm playing Turner. He's the priority for me. Even if it was a Turner or Betts situation, I think I would lean slightly to Turner. But I'm doing everything I can to get both of those guys in there. Just a great spot for them.
Yeah, those are the two big priorities. If you can't get Turner, Swanson is a nice consolation prize. He is what, 600 less on FanDuel, I think is fine. And if you have to go all the way down, you can get DeJong at 2,000. Basically, you're just punting there in order to get everybody else that you want in your lineup would be the options on FanDuel. And of course, on DraftKings, I can definitely get to Turner. What are we doing, Andre, in terms of tournaments? Is Anderson still in the lineup? He's got something with a suspension. You've got Swanson, Turner, of course. Is there anyone cheap we're looking at on DK? It doesn't like cheap shortstop on DraftKings is not pretty today.
I don't have DraftKings pulled up, but let me take a look real quick. I know Paul DeJong. I'm pretty sure he's cheap right today.
Well, he's 3K on DK. He's 2K on Fanduel. So
yeah, he's 2K on
he's
FanDuel.
better off over there.
He's better off on FanDuel for sure. Sorry, I'm trying to see who else here that I like. Yeah, well, if I don't have DraftKings up right now, I have FanDuel up, but if in regards to just the position as a whole in general, Carlos Correa is someone I don't mind. Swanson, Paul DeJong, obviously, Tim Anderson as well. If you want to run a little Chicago White Sox lineup, I forgot some of these Angels guys are tricky. I'm not paying that much for Rengifo, but he's 2.4 on he's not on DK, but on FanDuel he's 2.4. So if you want to go with like a little mini Angel stack with Ohtani in it, that I don't mind that at all.
All right, outfield cash. I'll break it down like this: Mookie Betts if you have money. Acuna seems underpriced on both sites tonight, so you can get him in there. What are we doing after that, Keith?
Yeah, I really like both of those. I personally, because I'm playing Valdez, could not get to Acuna, so I'm looking to save some money. Tyler O'Neill has a fantastic price against a bad pitcher. Nick Castellanos, I know it's been a tough season for him, but he is 2,300 on FanDuel. That's a punt price. He's a far more talented hitter than 2,300. So he helps make everything work on FanDuel. On DraftKings, Trace Thompson is the guy you can punt with. He's 2,800, hitting 6 in cores. Certainly like that. Or Victor Robles is leading off for minimum price.
And then in tournaments, Andre, you got any sleepers in the outfield?
Obviously, well, Jordan. I like Juan Soto today. Buxton, as well. Kyle Tucker, Nick Castellanos, is another good one. AJ Pollock as well. The White Sox actually is a sneaky team too in tournaments. If they could pull it together and get some hits. But they to me can be a really sneaky team and have the upside to definitely be a top stack on the slate.
What a disappointing season for Castellanos. He's 2,300 on FanDuel, and I think he is in a reasonably good spot tonight, but just quite of a letdown of a season for him. All right, let's go to the questions. We'll start with Greatness 24 in our premium Discord. Anyone playing interested in Johnny Cueto on a FanDuel tournament, Andre? Does he make the cut for you today?
He's in my player pool, so I don't mind him for sure. I don't mind him, but he'll be very, very little exposed in my field.
All right. Steve OJ wanted to know Kershaw. We didn't talk about him. Anyone, the bat always hates pitchers in core, so he's like the 15th or like the 10th pitcher in terms of raw fantasy points tonight. Andy's expensive. Is this like, are people going to play Kershaw? Is anyone on him in cores? I guess I could look up his history in there. You know, he has the ability to post a big game against anybody. Earlier at Colorado, -2 DraftKings points earlier this season. Anyone on him tonight?
Yeah, no. I tried to. I looked into it earlier, but I couldn't get myself to do it.
All right. Bates D wants to know FanDuel cash last spot. DeJong or Dubon?
I think I'd go DeJong. He was really bad earlier in the season, but he seemed to have figured some things out when he went down to AAA. First game back, we'll see how he does, but I'm willing to go DeJong.
I would do that as well. Carolina guy, I want to know FanDuel single entry last piece, Wilmer Flores or Baum for third base?
Flores or who?
Alec Baum.
Probably Flores.
I'm going Baum. I'm going to go Baum on that one. I like the Phillies a little bit today.
Oh yeah, actually yeah, go Baum. Yeah, he's actually on a good hitting streak right now too. So
yeah, I have him in a hit parlay today. I just make bets all day long, so don't mind me if I just throw something out there today. Let's see here. Bregman. Favorite pitchers Fanduel tournament. Give me like 30 seconds on Fanduel tournaments, Andre.
Suarez and Valdez. Well, Valdez is gonna be high on, but Suarez is my favorite pitcher tournament for sure. Valdez will be the chalk. Ian Anderson is probably going to be a lot of other people's favorites in tournament plays as well.
BHB DraftKings Cash. Alberto or Gorman?
I know Alberto's in Coors, but I still go Gorman. Just a far better hitter, a lot more power, more upside.
Yeah, I've got Gorman as well. Alberto's in a good spot. You may also run into how many Dodgers can you fit in your lineup, possibly. So he would be one that I might not have. That was a problem I was having, so I decided to go Gorman.
Yep, on FanDuel specifically, with definitely wanting to get Will Smith in there. That I ran into that too. That's why I went Castellanos. But
all right, J Sam's FanDuel tournament: Robles and Kyle Schwarber, or Cruz and Taylor Ward.
The first one.
Yeah, I would take the first one as well there. NBA DFS, FanDuel Cash, DeJong and Muncy, or Slater and Gorman?
First one.
First one for me as well. Carolina guy wanted to know FanDuel tournaments, your favorite stack tonight. We'll go around the board. Nobody can say Dodgers. We'll just assume he knows about the Dodgers playing, of course, tonight.
Houston, definitely.
All right. Keith?
I'll go St. Louis.
Yeah, I got both of them.
All right. Give me, I won't say the chalk, Atlanta. Give me, I do like St. Louis quite a bit today, too. I know I'm going in on that. The other one, Houston, Andre said. How about the Giants? Like, can anyone interest in the Giants a little bit as like a little sneaky stack? I know it's San Francisco, but they got all those righties. I think might play pretty well tonight, so they're probably one I might have some interest in. We got a couple minutes.
Like Smiley doesn't go deep into games, and the Cubs just traded a bullpen arm. Like that bullpen is pretty weak now, and it's going to get weaker. But I like the Giants call.
All right, let's see here. A couple questions. I'm just going to get weather update. Someone want to know. There's no real weather concerns from the latest update I saw from Roth. That's all I got for you. So if something's wrong, go yell at Roth about the weather. But that's the last I saw. A couple QQs. Let's see here. Lowest pitcher you can use for cash on FanDuel is from Danny Chen. Who you got, Keith?
I think you can go all the way down to Smiley if you want to. I don't even think Glenn Otto is insane just because of the Angel strikeout rates. I think price per dollar Suarez is where I would want to land if I was going down from Valdez.
Yeah, I would play Valdez or Suarez for sure as basically the only two cash game pitchers on FanDuel today. Keller and Suarez in the same lineup on DraftKings. I have no problem with that tonight, even though they're going head to head, right?
Yeah, there's not a ton of strikeout upside, so I'm totally fine going cheap.
Let's see here if I got any more punt plays. Ortega and Rivas or Robles and Cruz. I would probably go Robles and Cruz if I was punting that cheap tonight, right?
Oh, crap.
I don't think I'd play any of those guys in cash for sure, but I'd take Robles and Cruz if I was punting that cheap. Someone want to know Josh Bell, right? He's got a lot of, and I think he's cheap out there. Do you guys? Well, we've hit lock, but as far as all these trades are concerned, people get. I'm not going to not play Juan Soto if I liked Juan Soto. I'm not going to not play Josh Bell if I like Josh Bell tonight. Now, if it's the day of the trade deadline or the day before, maybe. But right now, I probably wouldn't make any of those adjustments. Would you, Andre?
No, I would just keep it in my lineup as normal until, like you said, the day of. I wouldn't even play the day of because it's going to be probably crazy.
All right. I want to remind you guys, too, Scores and Odds is our sports betting app here at RotoGrinders. For free, you can get access just to the scores and odds. Go figure. That's what we've decided to call it. And you can get access to the best lines, right? So like in New York, I have access to 8 sports books. In one click, I could see if I want to see Aaron Judge to hit a home run. He's going to hit a home run, so of course I want to bet it, right? What site has the best odds? They can range from like plus 150 to like plus 250. of course I want that extra, 100 points to get the 250 and things like that. You can get that for free on Scores and Odds. And if you want the picks, there is a premium subscription to that. Make sure to check out FanDuel. Our single entry series is live now for baseball. It's single entry. It's a big tournament. There's a little bit of a live final. You get all sorts of fun stuff, some extra money added. Make sure to check that out on FanDuel, the great sponsor of the show. If you want to get any last-minute bets in, my favorite for tonight is Ranger Suarez strikeouts. The over 4.5 was like minus 118 before the show. I laddered that up all the way up to 8 strikeouts at plus 600. Lefties against Pittsburgh, they all go nuclear. So make sure to get your free money in on that bet tonight. Keith, you got any bets for the people? You can't do the Seattle-Houston game. That one's off the board right
now. I don't really have anything baseball. I love the Suarez one. I was on that as well. I wrote up Lauer earlier today, hit that one, but I don't have a ton for the evening slate here. I've been focused on UFC most of the day, so I've got some UFC bets.
What do you throw me your favorite UFC bet for the people?
Yeah. I need to win tonight.
I like Dontel Mays to win by knockout. That was pretty solid plus money. Plus 160 is what I got it at. I'm not sure if that's moved at all. And then I don't know what to do with the main event, but I know the price tag on Juliana Pena at plus 220, plus 225 in most places is a pretty good value bet, I think. She just absolutely dominated Nunes in the last time out. Maybe Nunes is more focused and she comes back and just destroys her, but somebody who just won a couple of months ago in the same matchup, I would totally be willing to take that plus money done.
All right, Andre, I know you threw a couple bets out there, like hit parlays and things like that. You got a couple favorite bets for the people?
Yeah, I'll just give a couple of my home run calls that I like with some of the games that haven't started. Like Paul Goldschmidt, I like him to go yard. Also Nolan Arenado, I didn't write up there, but I also like Austin Riley and Matt Olson, both of them to go yard as well. And also in the Dodger game, Mookie Betts obviously is going to be everyone's favorite, but I'm going to sneakily say Max Muncy is going to be hit a home run today as well.
All right, so there's a lot for you guys wrapped up post show. If you have access to the sports books, again, go check out FanDuel, the single entry series. If you're new to sports betting, you can get a risk-free bet from them as well. Appreciate them sponsoring the show. Other than that, everyone have fun tonight. I'll see you on tomorrow's show. I'll be back for Sunday. I think the whole crew's back for Sunday, aren't we?
I am running it back tomorrow. Yep.
We'll be running this back tomorrow, Sunday, and we'll see you then. So until then, everybody have a good night. See you tomorrow, and thanks for watching. And we out, you.